Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome. So happy to have you here. Welcome, day 3 of the conversion challenge. Last day, which is kind of a bummer. It's always kind of sad at the ends of these sessions because I feel like I get to know you guys a little bit, talk with you a little bit. And I personally, this is stuff that I love to do. I love sharing this stuff with you guys and helping you to get those aha moments, get excited about what is possible for your wedding business. And so yeah, it's great to spend this time with you guys. I hope you've been getting a lot out of it as well. So I do want to real quick, Nick in the background. I do want to give a quick welcome to some of our new students. Nick, you want to help me to welcome them as well? Yeah. It's like okay, I think his microphone isn't on here. So yeah,
Yeah, I just
it's
want
good
to
there. So
welcome
yes, Lou.
hey, how you doing?
Hi.
I want to welcome Valerie and Joseph, again,
Yes,
venue owners who
welcome.
just wanted to really kind of connect with their
Mhm.
clients and do all things, and then all the geeky stuff too is what I do. Kate's the messaging expert, you're really good at it. And then as well, Lynn,
Yes.
or Lindsay, she's a
Yes,
florist.
Lindsay.
She's been
So
doing
happy to
it.
have
She's
you
got
here.
plenty of weddings, and she just
Yes.
wanted to. She wanted Kate's help and help Martine to really
And
say
you're
it
here.
right
We got it.
because it makes all the
Yes,
difference. So,
exactly.
just want to
So,
welcome both of you.
yes, because Nick is, like Nick said, he is, we work together. He is part of the Growth Academy as well as our team. We have several different messaging experts, people that are, social media, all those kinds of things that are helping to make sure that you are getting that messaging communicated in all the right places. Because it's the biggest part, like I said yesterday, that foundation, having that messaging correct, but then knowing what to do with it, where to put it. And so we have a team that helps you to do that, all with different expertise levels and specialties that they help with. And Nick is really great actually at helping you see that big picture of your business and finding where all the pieces fit together. That's actually what he really shines. So yes. So very excited to have you guys here. Thank you so much for raising your hand and being part of this. We're excited to work with you. So today, let me just pull up a few things, make sure, take a look at the chat too. What are you guys doing? Feel free to put anything, just like the last couple of days. Feel free to put any questions you have in the chat. Good to see you, Christy and Daniel. I'm guessing it's you again, right? Because it's changed now. Now it says DJ Fish, so I love it. Good to see you. Welcome back. All right, so just as a real quick recap of what we have talked about the last couple of days, because we have talked about a lot of information, right? It's been a lot, and I know that. So if you have, again, any questions that kind of came up as you were thinking about these things after the trainings, or if you have any big mindset shifts that have happened for you, I would love to hear that. I really would, so that I can help to make this as clear and helpful and powerful as possible when we do these trainings. So I would love to hear about that. Definitely put those in the chat. But as a quick recap of what we have talked about so far, on day 1, we really focused in on messaging, why it is so important. We talked about the 3 things that you need to know to break past your booking barriers in 2025. We talked about how to figure out your couple's emotional needs and why that is so crucial, so important to growing your wedding business and connecting and turning those leads that come into you actually into clients, actually booking them. Because again, like we said, it's not going to do you any good if you spend all this time and money and effort bringing in these leads, but they don't turn into bookings. Okay, so we have to master that. We have to get this right with our messaging, or else we're just not going to see the success that we want. And we're going to waste time and money and just get frustrated and spin our wheels in the meantime, right? So we have to figure out our couple's emotional needs. And then we also talked about why your current lead strategies aren't bringing the bookings that you want. And that, again, that one missing piece that changes everything, all of those lead strategies, and finally turns them from frustrations to actually bringing in those bookings and that money that you need to make in your wedding business. The missing piece that changes everything is that right messaging. So that was a huge day. Yesterday we talked about, we took that messaging element and now we talked about how do we use that? How do we use that to demonstrate our value? So we talked about generic marketing versus marketing messaging that converts. Okay, we showed you how standing out with the right words transforms you from being just another option to the obvious choice for the couples that you love to work with. We also talked about why couples get stuck on price, okay? And we talked about how if your messaging isn't clear, then your couples just see everyone as the same, right? That apples to apples comparison to them because they just don't know any different. And then as a result, you end up getting shopped on price. You just get compared, you are just a price to them because that's all they can see that separates you from your competition, when clearly there's so much more that separates you from your competition, right? And we also talked about how to fix all of this and book more weddings. We talked about how refining your messaging opens the door to more qualified leads who value what you do at the price that you deserve. Because that is a big element that really, I don't think we have really dug into too much in this session, is talking about the price you deserve element, okay? Most of you guys are seasoned, experienced wedding pros, okay? You know what you're doing. Even if, I know there's some of you that are perhaps newer to your business, but you're not new to the field. You are not new to your skill, your talent, okay? And a lot of us, especially when we get stuck in that price comparison war, when we get stuck with couples who are coming to us asking us to lower our rates, that are coming at us with, that's so expensive, or, oh, that's more than I thought it was going to be. That's a huge ego hit, right? Like, it hurts because it makes us feel like, gosh, maybe I'm being too greedy. Maybe I'm asking too much. Ooh, maybe I should lower my rates. No, probably not. If anything, you're probably undercharging for your skill level and your experience. But two, it's helping them to understand that this is a whole other thing about the price understanding. But it's helping them to see that there is value in what you provide, and that value, that experience that you're going to give them, that is worth something. And you deserve to be able to stand by your prices and to charge fairly. Because again, I also know you're not out there trying to gouge people. You're not trying to overcharge and take advantage of the market. No, you do deserve to be paid fairly for the expertise that you have, okay? And for the clear and amazing experience that you can provide for these couples. But we have to show them in a way that makes sense to them, in a way that it connects the dots for them to where they can see past that price point and see that, again, they're going to spend the money somewhere, right? They're going to spend the money anyways. They need to spend it in a way that is smart for them, in a way that is going to actually give them the experience that they want, okay? This is how we use that messaging to demonstrate our value. It's so important to do this. And if we don't, we are always going to get stuck in that price comparison war. It stinks. I don't want you to be there anymore, okay? So today we're going to be covering why great leads are ghosting and how to fix it. But again, if there's anybody who has just come in, I'm so excited to have you guys here. Happy to have you join us for this last day of the Conversion Challenge. We're just going over a quick recap of everything that we've talked about the last couple of days, making sure that we have that foundation of the messaging, the strong messaging, knowing our couple's emotional needs, using it in the right places to get them to see our value and understand why we are so much more than just a price, okay? So thinking about these leads, okay, and why connecting that idea of bringing in the leads, but messaging. Because I know you want more leads. I know you do. It's important, okay? I know you need to see that because when you see a lot of leads coming into you, it feels great, right? It feels like so much possibility and opportunity. It's like, look at all these people who want to know about me and want to work with me. It's super exciting, and getting in leads is a very important part of our business. I'm not saying it's not, but I have to tell you the truth. If you don't have the messaging that's going to connect with those couples and show them why you are better than your competitors, okay? If you don't have that messaging that shows them how you deeply understand them in a way that no one else does, and that you can provide the experience that they're looking for, truly provide it, then the amount of leads is never going to bring you the amount of bookings that you want, okay? And what we do is we teach you the messaging that turns those leads into bookings. We are the ones that help you to bridge that gap between volume and quantity and quality, okay? Volume of leads and leads that are actually booking, Okay, that's what messaging does, and that is everything that we teach at Book More Brides. So, with the idea of understanding all of that, we're getting these leads in, right? They're coming into us. We can help you again with those strategies. We know just how to help you bring in all those leads as well. But again, building that connection with them and showing them why you're going to be the right one, so that way they tip over into that buying mindset. This is why we're talking about follow-up today. Okay, let's think about, why is follow-up so important? At a base level, it's because following up with them builds connection and trust, especially with your buy later couples. Now, if you haven't heard us talk about this before, the idea of buy now versus buy later couples, this is a concept that we have been talking about for years, that it really helps to put into perspective who our leads are, where they're coming from, and where their mindset is, okay? So the buy now couples are ones that are ready to buy now, right? They are ready to move forward. They're ready to choose their vendors. They're ready to make a decision and finalize all the pieces for their wedding. But there's also this set of couples called the buy later couples. And this is actually the majority of the leads that come into you. So let me give you a little bit of research, because I do, part of what I do and what I love to do, this is where my geeky side comes out, is I do enjoy learning about marketing principles, the newest information that's coming out, research, and applying that to the wedding industry and showing how we need to use that to connect with our couples, right? That's what I love to do. It's what I do for you guys. So from a research standpoint, you are only at any given time going to have around 12 to 15% of your local market that is interested in what you have to offer and is considering purchasing what you offer, okay? And I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but if you think about it, it makes total sense, because your entire metro area, or the areas that you serve, not everybody in that area is engaged and looking to get married right now, right? So a lot of times, one of the biggest things that we misunderstand is that we have like 100% of our local market that we are dealing with this, tons and tons of people. And there is a lot, but it's maybe not as much as we're thinking about, okay? So it's important to understand that only 12 to 15% of your local market is going to be interested in what you have to offer and looking to purchase what you have to offer at any given time, okay? So thinking about now, what does that mean with the buy now and the buy later couples? The buy now couples is only 1 to 3% of that amount of your local market. 1 to 3%, that's it. And this is why we can get so frustrated in our business, okay? Because only 1 to 3%, 3% at max of your market is ready to put down money and get a solution to their problem. But what about the rest of them? The rest, that 4 to 12 or 15%, okay? They are the ones, those are your buy later couples, okay? They are a huge part of your local market that is not getting enough attention from us as wedding pros, all right? They want what we have to offer. They are interested, but they're not ready yet. They need more time and education to be ready to buy, okay? So this is why, first of all, understanding this concept is so important to know. It's so important to realize what we are dealing with, but it's also important to realize how this works with why we're feeling so frustrated in our wedding business, because so many wedding pros are putting all of their time and attention into just the buy now couples. And it totally makes sense. I totally get it, because thinking about what happens when we get an inquiry in, right? We get very excited because we're like, yes, somebody wants to know about us. Somebody I can help. Every lead that comes in, like I said a few minutes ago, represents an opportunity to serve, okay? It represents an opportunity to grow our business. So when that lead comes in, we're excited. We're like, yes, let's do this. We're like giving them, they say, hey, usually they're saying, hey, what are your packages and pricing? Can you send over some information? And we say, absolutely. We send over the packages and pricing. We give them all the information, and then nothing. We don't hear from them, right? Maybe they'll respond back and say thank you, or maybe they'll respond back and say, okay, thanks. I'm gonna think about it. I'm gonna review this with my fiance, and we'll get back to you. We'll get back to you. We'll follow up. Sure you will. So that's where the frustration comes in, because they ask us, they come to us, they want us to give them information, and we do it. We give them what they're asking for. Should be an easy process, right? But think about their mindset. Let's put ourselves aside for a moment and let's think about where they are. They just got engaged. They're super excited. Everybody's giving them recommendations. They're searching on Google. They're searching on Instagram. They're on Wedding Wire and the Knot. They are looking at all these places. And let's be real, a lot of these sources, one button click, right? Click, I want packages and pricing. Automated message goes out to like 15 different vendors in the area, okay? So here's the problem. They send that out, they get information back, and to them, what's happening? What's happening in their world? They just got engaged. Very likely, they're not ready to look at, eeny, meeny, miny, this one. No, they're going to do their research. They're going to look around. They're going to find out, okay, well, what is this vendor saying? What is this person saying? What is the price range on this? All of those different things, okay? They are gathering information. They're in information gathering mode. They are not in decision-making mode yet. So what do we do about this? This is where follow-up comes in. This is where we as the professionals have to continue reaching out to them, continuing to provide them that information that they need to make them feel confident about moving forward with you and knowing that you are going to be the right choice for them, okay? Because your messaging draws them in the first place, gets them excited, pre-warms them, right? But even when they are excited to know about you, they are feeling like, okay, this one is a real possibility. The reality is they need more time and they need more information, more education to feel like they're making the right choice by moving forward, okay? Now, I understand following up when you're not hearing back from somebody can feel really uncomfortable, okay? It feels like if you keep reaching out to them, you're not getting a response back. It feels like we're bothering them, right? It feels like we're being that pushy salesperson that no one wants to book. And we talked about this a little bit yesterday, how you're not pushy. Trust me, if anything, you're way more hands-off than we need to be in order to get them the information that they need to make a decision, okay? But I get it. It feels really uncomfortable when we're reaching out to them, silence. We're reaching out to them, silence. But what if we looked at it in a different way? What if instead we thought about this as an opportunity to give them helpful information that is going to move them forward and give them the knowledge and the confidence to make a decision? So instead of just, reaching out, if instead of treating our follow-up methods as just saying, hey, are you still interested? Just checking in with you, set up a call. I'd love to get you all the information you need. Just let me know. Hey, no pressure. I'm here when you're ready. If we stopped doing that and instead gave them information, actual helpful information that is going to help them to know that, wow, one, this person knows what they're talking about, okay? They've got a lot of information to say about this topic in a good way, and probably a lot of things where I hadn't thought about that before. That's a good point. If we can change our mindset from thinking about following up as bugging and just saying, hey, just want to see if you're still interested, or hey, my calendar's filling up for the year, which again, most wedding pros, that's what they consider following up, is just that reaching out, just checking in. If we put that aside and instead gave them useful information, help to show them that we are an expert, demonstrate our authority and our knowledge in this area, but also, like we talked about yesterday, removing and bringing down that barrier that they have to sales, okay? Showing them that, hey, I'm not just trying to make a quick sale here, which I have to say, if we're just following up, if we're only saying to them, hey, just checking in, hey, just trying to see if you're still interested, hey, I'm booking up for the year, you better get your date fast. That is giving off the vibes of, hey, I just want to make a sale, move forward, I want your money. I know that's not what you're trying to do, okay? So I'm not trying to be mean with that, but that is the message that we're sending them when that's the only information that we're sending them, okay? Instead, we're following up with them regularly, giving them information where it's like, hey, maybe you hadn't considered this, but this is something I want you to know about your service area, okay, whatever it is that you do for them. It, again, starts to lower that barrier. Why? Because of what we talked about a couple of minutes ago. You are building connection and trust with them. You're showing them that you are extremely knowledgeable in this area, that you have a desire to serve them, and that you're not giving up on them. This is how you actually show them that you're here for them. Instead of saying, hey, I'm here when you're ready, you are actually, by giving them this information and by continuing to show up for them, that's how we demonstrate that. That's how we actually do that, okay? And it's also important to realize, again, from a marketing research standpoint, it takes at least 8 touch points to make a sale. And some research studies have shown that it takes up to 21. Now, touch points means a lot of different things, but in general, it's like how many times do they either interact with you or do they see your name, okay? That's what any sort of a touch point is. So if it's taking at least 8, are we following up at least 8 times with them? Are we following up with them up to 21 times? I'm guessing probably not. And I understand it's because we're worried about that bothering. But that's why we have to shift our mindset. And this is where I have to be honest with you. When we are doing this, your leads aren't ghosting you. You are ghosting them when you don't follow up enough, okay? This is why also you're probably only closing those buy now couples and not enough of the buy later couples. And it's why it always seems like feast or famine in your business, because we're only dealing at any given time with 1 to 3%. But in the meantime, you've got this 4 to 12 or 15% that are just sitting here waiting for you. They want to know about you. They want to connect with you. But if we don't show up for them, we're ghosting them, not the other way around, okay? So this is why it's so important to us and why it is such a foundational element of what we teach in the Growth Academy, helping them to follow up with their leads in a, with this useful information until they tell you one of 3 things. Either 1, I'm all taken care of, booked someone else, thank you very much. It happens sometimes, right? That's fine. 2, I'm no longer interested. Also, that's also a good thing because at least now we know, right? It's not, this lead is no longer in limbo. We can safely set them aside and focus on the ones who are interested. Or the 3rd thing, we keep following up until they tell us, yes, I want to have a conversation with you. I want to learn more, or even I want to book, okay? We have tons of examples of our students who have been closing couples that they thought were too cold to book or that they would have given up on a long time ago, okay? So just a couple of examples. We had a student, Ishmael, who told us that after many follow-ups, he finally got a reply from a bride that he thought he was going to give up on. This bride finally decided that she and her fiance wanted to move forward and book his services for their wedding. He would, like he said, he would have given up on them a long time ago, but because he continued to follow up with them, giving them the information that they needed to feel confident to make a decision, they followed up and said, yep, I'm ready. I'm ready to book you. Not even, oh, I want to talk. The same, yep, this sounds good. Send me over the contract. Ready to go. It can happen. It does happen, you guys, when we do this the right way. Another example is Lizbeth. Fantastic, one of our favorite students. She booked 18 weddings in 1 month, all from the follow-up email sequences that she had gotten in the Growth Academy. 18 weddings, 1 month, all from the follow-up, okay? It's powerful. It really does make a difference. And Ray, he is the king of booking through follow-up, okay? He is fantastic. And he is also a great example of shifting your mindset on this, okay? Because he has told us that, and I love Ray because he is so upfront about like his thought process and where he's going with this and his willingness to learn. And he told us that when he first came into the Growth Academy, he was very like, what? He was not happy about the idea of following up until they said, I booked someone else, I'm not interested, or let's move forward. He was like, no way, it's bugging people. And not only that, he actually was of the mindset of, how dare they? How dare they not want to book me right away, right? And honestly, so he's a live band leader, and it makes sense. He is an amazing musician, an amazing business owner, and they do very, very high end weddings in the DC area. So he knows what he's doing. He is well known in the area, and so he kind of had a little bit of room to be like, "How dare they?" But it wasn't doing him any good. He was not growing his business. It was not growing the way that he needed it to and that he wanted it to. He had his main band, he has maybe actually it's three now, three other smaller bands that one, he wants to keep busy, and two, he knows that when he gets these couples connected with these bands, it's an absolutely mind-blowing experience at their wedding. So he knows he can do great work for them. And so, yeah, he had the attitude of, how dare they not want to book me right away? But at the same time, like I said, that wasn't doing him any favors. It's not helping him to grow his business. It's not helping him to actually book more than that 1% to 3%. Okay? Now, he has given us many examples of how well this has worked for him, how he is booking couples after email 7, email 26, email 52. Now, you don't have to go quite that high, okay? He's been with us for a little while, so we have continued to work on this. And again, because he is a very high-end wedding pro, that is something where a lot of times his clients do need to think about this, make sure they're making the right decision. Even though they do have a higher budget, they do still want to be responsible with what they spent. Totally makes sense, right? But here's what is really great. Just this past Monday in our marketing call that we have 2 calls on Monday. One is a messaging call. The other is like a marketing and business strategy call. He was telling us that after implementing this follow-up for a year, his full sequence that he has set up and everything, specifically with his leads from Wedding Wire and The Knot, he received 320 leads. Like I said, he has been with us for a little while. He has his messaging dialed in. It is everywhere that it needs to be. Wedding Wire and The Knot profiles, absolutely, it's there, along with his website, Instagram, everywhere that he shows up. Okay, so specifically with leads from Wedding Wire and The Knot, 320 leads. That alone, like I said, is fantastic. But he told us that without the follow-up messaging and systems that he learned from Book More Brides, there is no way he would have been able to follow up with all of them. But because he did have all of these in place, it helped him to close 26 weddings, all because of messaging and follow-up that works, which meant over $260,000 in business for him because he had his follow-up right. Now, he is obviously closing a lot of other couples in the meantime, those buy now couples, and the other ones that he had been getting kind of like that example of being in line like we talked about yesterday, those ones that had gotten up to the front from waiting to get information and waiting to make that decision, he's booking all those in between. But specifically from The Knot and Wedding Wire, 26 weddings, $260,000. This is what is possible, okay? Because I want you to realize most wedding pros, again, are only focusing on those buy now couples, and they don't bother to stay in touch with the buy later ones, which not only means that you're only getting 1/4 to 1/3 of the business that you could be getting, but also there is a huge opportunity for you to beat out your competition at this. They're not doing it, for sure. What if you were? What would your business look like? Or like, can you imagine what it would look like if you were closing even a small portion of that? And today, I don't want to just imagine it. Let's actually see it. Let's walk through this just for a minute here. Okay, let's talk some numbers. Take the numbers of pull out the paper that we told you to bring, paper, pencil, whatever you have to kind of scribble it down real quick, okay? I want you to take the number of weddings that you worked this past year. So let's say you worked I'm just going to do real simple math, okay? Let's say you worked 1 wedding per month, so 12 total in this past year, okay? Counting this month. Now, take that number and multiply it by 3. That gives you 36, right? Now, multiply that number by the price of your lowest package. And I'm going to be ultra conservative, and let's say your lowest package is around $1,000, okay? And like we talked about before, if you are undercutting your packages, you need to schedule a call with Nick because he can show you how to get it up to where it should be. 36 weddings times $1,000 is $36,000. You could be missing out on $36,000 each year because you don't have a buy later strategy. All right. This is how much money you could be earning at a minimum if you just had a game plan to follow up with those buy later couples. And if you really want to dream, okay, let's take the number of weddings you worked, go back to that, multiply it by 3, 36 again, then take that number and multiply it by the price of your highest package. So again, just using random numbers here, okay, let's say you have your highest one is $3,600. 36 weddings times $3,600 is $129,600. Would you want to start making $129,000 more in your wedding business? I have a feeling you do. Everybody would, right? No one wants to turn that down. It doesn't have to be difficult to do this. You just need the strategy and the right words to say to make it work, okay? So now that we've got that, think about that, do that math on your own if, to figure out based off of your own packages and everything. But take that same paper and I want you to write down, what would earning either of those amounts mean for your wedding business? Where could you invest? What kind of equipment could you get? Could you upgrade? Who could you hire to start building a team and start getting some hours back in your week so it's not just all on you in your wedding business, okay? Now, I want you to write down, what could this do for you in your personal life? Could you put some money down to buy a house? Could you pay for a vacation that you've been putting off for years while you grew your business? Could you afford to put your kids in an activity that they've been wanting to do? These are all things where when we just have those funds, this is all possible for you. And this could happen very quickly, okay? It doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't have to take so long to do. Again, when you have the right strategy and the people to show you how to make it happen, okay? Because I want you to think about this. You're already good at what you do. You've got the talent, the experience, the heart for your wedding business, okay? The missing piece and the one that is keeping you from making more money and booking couples who truly value what you offer is how you communicate your value. And this is exactly what we help you master inside of the Growth Academy. This is where we help you get quick results right away and then throughout our 90-day training program, okay? This is designed for wedding pros who are ready for a step-by-step, simple plan to make more money by booking couples they love to work with. And in just the first few days, we dive deep into knowing and identifying those exact words that your couples need to hear. Once you've got that messaging dialed in, everything else clicks into place. Your ads, your website, your follow-up emails, your sales calls, and suddenly your leads aren't just interested, they're excited. They are pre-warmed and they are ready to book. So this is all what I want you to realize is what is possible. And this is what we do every day inside of the Growth Academy, okay? And since today is our last day together with this conversion challenge, we're gonna make it super easy for you to say yes. If you take the leap and join us in the Growth Academy now, as a quick action bonus, you'll score an extra 30 days inside of the Growth Academy to get even more of the hands-on support and training and custom business growth that you've been looking for. And I want you to understand that this isn't a fend for yourself land of DIY guides and advice. We are giving you real hands-on support with a team of wedding industry experts. We are connecting with you in live calls 5 times a week, okay? Like I said yesterday, we are so proud to say that we have the highest level of accountability in the wedding industry. 5 live calls a week, once a month, 1 hour one-on-ones with our team. You are getting personalized feedback and direction so that you can fine-tune your messaging fast. There's no more guesswork, no more wasted time, just a clear plan that turns curious prospects into paying clients who cannot wait to work with you. And when they have that clarity, what that means for you is higher rates, more bookings, and the business that you have always been envisioning. So this is super important if you're ready to move forward in the next year, okay? And if you're worried that your niche is too unique, don't worry. We have helped DJs, photographers, planners, venues, every type of wedding pro that is out there, okay? I think I was telling you yesterday about our florist friends who create the pressed flowers. John, who is a town crier, very unique business, because the secret isn't changing what you do. It's helping couples to see why you are the perfect fit. And that's the messaging shift that we specialize in. And it's why the Growth Academy works for everyone. So if you're ready to step off that hamster wheel, stop chasing leads, start booking couples who love working with you, and get better rates while you're at it, Nick is going to put a link in the chat to schedule a call with us, learn more, and see how this could work for your wedding business. I know that this is going to be a game changer for you. We see it every single day in the Growth Academy, and this is my passion. It's Nick's passion. It's our team's passion, because we know that when you get past these barriers, you get unstuck like this, things start happening in your professional life, your personal life, and you start seeing that light of hope that you know is possible. What is possible for your wedding business, okay? And we love helping you guys achieve that and get there, and I want you to see it too. So that is my offer for you today. Join us in the Growth Academy, schedule a call with us to find out the details, and if you join us now, you're going to get that extra month. So you get that extra support, extra one-on-one every single month that you get in the Growth Academy. Extra, would that be 20 calls? Extra 20 calls to be part of. Now, let me also tell you, those are all calls that are available for you, okay? You don't have to join every single one, but we want to provide as many opportunities. And I will tell you, the students who join as many calls as possible, they're the ones who make the quickest progress. They're the ones who are making the biggest leaps in their business. So those are the things that we make available for you, so that way you have that opportunity. You can get that feedback, get that direction, so you're not left just, swimming around trying to figure out, what do we do next, right? We will show you. We will help you get to where you want to go. So those are things I want to share with you today. Go ahead and schedule a call with us. And I wanted to save some time here at the end for questions and everything, because this has been such a fun part of the challenge. I love, you guys have been great about asking really good questions, unmuting, talking. I love all that. So if you guys are ready for that again today, I would love to talk with you about this stuff. So let's see here. So Daniel, I see here, what if you're not getting any leads? No problem. I think Matt was telling you, like, we know how to help you get leads. The way to get leads and the direction on that, that's simple. It's how do we make sure that they are the right leads and that we're leading them in the right direction to want to book with you, okay? That is a very easy part, okay? Let's see. Where are we going here? Some other questions. If there's anybody that has any questions that you want to jump in here, if you want to unmute and ask any questions, I would be happy to do that. I think I see Erica. You had a question here. The bride, you're saying the bride wants and how we're to communicate to them that we're the one that we should hire. Would you mind explaining that a bit more? I think it might still be muted, sorry.
Hi.
There you go. Hi.
No, I was just wondering just exactly what they want to hear. I mean, I do have a follow-up, but you're right, it's the time you said not to do. So I just didn't know. So I'm guessing you're sending them blog type information with each one, just to try to let them know some information on what they might need to know.
Yeah.
Sales part.
Yeah, so that it all starts with that messaging. So when we get, when you join the Growth Academy, we dig into, like I said, the very first thing we do is figure out that messaging and what it is, the emotional needs that your couples have, what it is that they need to hear, because that is where it all starts. It all branches off from that, because then we can make sure that we have our follow-up messages are saying what they need to hear, our website is saying what they need to hear, wedding wire profiles, ads, all of those things. But specifically about the follow-up, what's fun about this, and this is where I like to have a lot of fun with this, is once you have you understand what it is that those emotional needs are, okay, what is that they truly want, what they're worried about, because it's a little bit of both. It's like understanding that, what it is that they're looking for, but also knowing and communicating what it is that they're concerned about. Where are they worried that this part of their wedding is not where it's going to fail, essentially? Where is it? Where could it go wrong? Where could it go off the rails? So we can tell them, I know you're worried about this, but that's not going to happen with me because, and then communicating, how you're able to help that. So once we have that information, then we go off into a million different directions about like, well, what does that look like in terms of, so like, would you mind telling me what kind of wedding pro are you?
I'm a planner.
A planner. Perfect. So you are a perfect example of this, of where there are a million things, I bet, that your couples are like coming to you freaking out about, right? Like I bet if I asked you to write down what are the 5 biggest things that your couples freak out about, I bet you could probably give me more like 15, 20, right? Like those are all the things. That's where it starts. Go ahead. Oh, sorry. I felt like you wanted to say something. I didn't want to cut you off. But like thinking about that, like what would you say? And especially like we know so much about our craft, about what we do, so if you think about it's called the curse of knowledge, okay? So if you think about on a scale of 1 to 10, how well you understand the process of planning a wedding. You are at like a 9 or a 10, you're expert level, right? Because this is your profession. It's what you do. You live it and breathe it probably, and like are constantly looking for more information, more ways to always help your couples. So, but we realize, okay, well, they're not wedding planners. So we bring it down a little bit. We talk about, things that are like at like a 7 or an 8 or maybe a 6 or a 7. But the problem is that our couples buy at a 1 or a 2 level. They need the most basic information that we think, how could they not know that? They don't know it. They really don't. And you would be surprised how many times we help with our students and we tell them like, send out an email that talks about like for a planner, like why it's important not to cut your hair like a month before the wedding or something like that. Like one of those things you're like, well, of course they would know that. They don't. And just those kinds of things. So that's a small example. It's a silly example, but it's those kinds of things that all the little things that are in the back of their mind that they're either worried about or that they're hoping, like, how am I going to know, how am I going to know that I'm going to get that moment that I'm waiting for where they step into their reception and everybody stands up and they're all clapping, like, how do I know that's going to happen? Don't worry. And you tell them, I've got a plan for you. And we go into it, right? It's those kinds of things that are helping them to see not only that you know what you're talking about, but that you are ready to guide them. You have a plan for them. So it's all those little things. So it's actually coming up with the topics is a lot easier once you know that messaging, once you know what they want. So thanks. All right, let me see if there's any other questions here. Anybody else, if you want to unmute, anything else you want to ask while we're here? I want to make sure that we get you all the details you need because it's the last day. Let's see here. Any others here? No? You guys are quiet today. Yesterday there was a bunch of questions. So this is something, if you have anything else that pops in, feel free, go ahead and go ahead and put it into the link, into the chat here. But I hope you guys are realizing that messaging is that magic key. I'm trying to think of a clearer way to say it, but that's really what it is. This is what has been missing because, like I said, you can go out there, you can write your own ad, you can create your own ad, you can use Canva, you can use a bunch of other things and throw out an ad and everything. But if we are speaking generically to our couples, if we are not showing them why we are going to be different, it is a noisy, noisy world out there. There are so many other wedding pros out there. They're also trying to get their attention. They're trying to show them why they're the better choice, all those kinds of things. And it is so difficult for them to be able to discern which one is better than the other because of, like we said, that curse of knowledge. They know so little. Even when we think they know more about them, we think they have like a certain level of knowledge about whatever it is that we do or about planning their wedding, choosing their photographer, choosing a venue, all those kinds of things. They don't. And mostly it's because they are overwhelmed. There's too many options out there. If we can show up for them and say, hey, I know you want this, whatever it is. Again, it's unique for every single couple. I can't give you a one size fits all because I would be doing you a disservice. I can't tell you that. It depends on what your couples that you love to work with, what speaks to them, but also the way that you are able to serve them and to give them that answer, okay? Once you can understand that and say, hey, I know you want this. I know you're worried about this, but I got you. This is what I'm going to do for you. And to be able to explain to them and to show them exactly that you understand so that they can go, finally, somebody gets it. It's not just, have your dream day, have a stress-free experience, get great photos, party, dance all night long. Again, those are things that they want, but we have to understand why. Because otherwise, we have 50 other people out there that are saying the exact same thing. They're all saying it too. And then all that's left for them to decide on, like we said, is price. And this is how we get stuck, feeling like we can't compete, that we have to lower our rates, that why am I even doing this? It's just over and over frustration of trying to figure out what these people need to hear to get them to finally see why I am the right one for them. Because you are. We just need those right words. The best part about this is that you actually know it. You know it like deep inside. But what we do, where our expertise comes in, is drawing that out. Okay? Getting into these calls, and I wish I had an example I could show you guys. It's so fun in these calls. We have on Mondays and Tuesdays, we have our messaging calls, and that is where when you first join the Growth Academy, you come to those and we talk about what are we have a specific worksheet that we guide you through just to get some baseline questions. But where the real magic happens is you bring it to those calls. And that's where we have these are live calls. We talk with you and we start to say, okay, well, why is that? Why do they want that? Well, what does that mean for this? Is it more this or is it this? And we start to, what's that? Yeah. Yeah, the video, you're saying? Yeah. Yeah, it's not a ton of people either, exactly. But that's why we also have multiple calls, so that way you have that opportunity to get that connection, so you're not sitting there waiting. We actually can get to you and work with you, right? So making sure that you are, so we get down to there, and it's so fun to watch the reactions of people when you finally get to that desire, that emotional need, that deeper desire that your couples have. And it's like we keep asking questions, and why this, and then we say, so is it that this, whatever it is. Like I said, it's so specific and so unique to each person. They're like, yeah, that's it. And they're like, it's like, well, there it is. It feels like so good, because it's like, there's our answer. And then we take that messaging, and that's where we start to expand on it. Okay. So if they have a specific desire, okay. So I think the example I gave on day one was for a DJ, where his couple, one particular student I can think of, his couples were the life of the party. They were the ones, like I said, they were the ones that were planning all the nights out. They're the ones that were always having, the backyard parties, getting everybody together. It's like they were the party coordinators for their social group, right? So when they got married, when I was talking with this DJ, I'm like, what do you think their expectations are? Their friends' expectations are for their wedding? He's like, oh yeah, they're expecting this is going to be pretty amazing. I'm like, yeah. Can you make it pretty amazing? He's like, yep. I bet you can, right? But when we can say that in the messaging, I know you are looking for an epic wedding experience that puts your best night out to shame. That's what I'm going to do for you on your wedding, at your reception. That is the kind of entertainment experience I'm going to give you. Those kinds of things, when we can get to that and we can say it, those couples are going to resonate with it so deeply. They're going to be so excited, like, yes, finally, someone more than will pack your dance floor. Can you see how that's so different, and how that is like such a more personalized answer than just, we'll keep your friends and family dancing all night long? It's so powerful when you can get to that, because then and what's really fun is when you put this in your messaging, you start getting these leads in with these right couples, and they come to your consultations and start repeating what's on your website, what's in your messaging. That's how you know you got it right. And it is so much fun, because We've had people that have come to us. That's exactly what they say. They're like, yeah, I had a call with somebody and they said, and it'll be like this exact line from their website. And they're like, yes, I bet you do want that. It's like, because it's like you've gotten in their heads. You know now what it is that they're looking for. And that's also why they come to you pre-warmed, excited to book with you, and feeling like I can show you a million testimonials, not really, but a lot of testimonials from our students where they say exactly that, where they say that their clients came to them and said, we felt like we had everything we needed to know. Like when they get to the call, no, we got everything we needed to know from your website and everything like that. So show me your packages and let's move forward. Like it really is that easy when you have the right messaging, when you know what to say to these couples. Because otherwise, think about the other side of this. When we don't have our messaging right, when we are saying those generic things that we're hoping, guessing is going to resonate with them, that's going to make them feel like you're the right one. What's going to happen when they come to that call and they're like, so, and they're asking like these super random questions, and you're like, well, of course, you're trying to explain to them, and then you have to, like I said yesterday, you feel like now you got to dance for them. You have to try to prove to them that you are really good at what you do. I've got all these years of experience, and I've got the top equipment, and these people, I've got like how many 5-star reviews and all these things. Why should you have to do that? And I'm not saying that from an ego perspective. I mean, really, why should you have to do that when your messaging can do it for you beforehand? So then what does that consultation call become? It becomes that place to build that connection, to build that relationship with them, and for them to, like, it confirms for them that, okay, this is sounding really good online. Are they really as good in real life when I talk to them? Those two things match up, and they're like, yep, this is the one. That's how you get them to feel so confident and ready to move forward, because they know it is consistency in your messaging. It is that confidence and that trust that you have worked to build with them ahead of time before they get to that consultation call. Because I do want to tell you guys something too. If you are waiting until the sales call, until that consultation call to build a relationship with them, I can guarantee you are losing weddings. I can guarantee you are losing leads who would have booked with you, but they didn't have the information that they needed ahead of time to be ready to move forward. They didn't have the relationship. That's exactly it, Nick. They didn't have the relationship with you yet. And like I said, when you have a busy, noisy, overwhelming world of vendors coming at them from all different angles, and why should they build a relationship with you? Why should they move forward if we're not showing them why we have the expertise, the talent, the skill that is going to be worth their time and their money? I mean, let's be honest. I mean, everybody's budget conscious now, right now, right? I'm sure you guys have seen that with your weddings. But the thing is, like I said earlier, they are going to spend the money. They're going to spend it. They're going to book somebody. They're not going to go without food. They're not going to go without a DJ. They're not going to go without a venue. They're going to book somewhere. They're going to spend the money somewhere. They deserve, for the biggest day of their life that they are never going to repeat again, they deserve to have somebody of your caliber and your quality. And really, it's going to be kind of sad for them if they end up with a lower quality person, right? Because it could have been better. We are not able to highly serve our couples if we're not telling this to them ahead of time. If we're not building that relationship with them, okay? So important. All right. Any other last minute questions that I can answer for you guys?
Kate, if you don't mind, I did get a direct message, but a participant was wondering our approach as far as websites being a must.
Yes.
Versus probably just social media, I assume.
Oh, yeah. Nick, you want to talk about that a little bit? He was saying that someone had sent a message asking about if websites are a must and to do our program. And I'm guessing they mean, he's just going to come in here, it's just easier. better microphone.
So the answer is, yeah, if you're going to be professional in this business, you should have your own place. They're going to drop $3,000 on you. They want to make sure that you're legitimate. Mm-hmm. We're trying to build as much trust factors with them. Now, that's where everybody puts a brakes. Uh-oh, my website's ugly, or I don't know what to
Or I
do.
don't have a website.
We've helped tons of people with ugly websites, just change a few things around on Wix or different things with the right messaging, and that converts. You could always make it pretty, but people can't help you make it say the right things and in the right flow. So there's options on how to do it yourself. We can show you how to do that. We do basic starter sites for people and custom great ones, but either way, we can help you with your websites or there. So to answer the question, yeah, a website in the end is going to be important. So it's just showing up on the internet the right way. Plus, when you do it this way, you get a bunch of traffic that you don't have to.
And actually, I do want to actually speak about that. If I'm not sure if this person's situation, if what they're saying is that they don't have a website yet, because there's a lot of people. Setting up a website very easy, especially when we actually have an entire website format. Yep, a plan and a flow that is designed to help those leads get from the very beginning, work all the way down to get them excited to book a call with you. Because again, there's a lot of research out there that shows we have less than 6 seconds to convince them to stick around on our website. So it's got to be the right information in the right order, saying the right things to them. We have a very strong proven plan for this. Well, one other thing I want to say is the reason why the websites are so important, it is important to have one, is because we have seen so many times people who have lost their entire business when they built it on like Instagram, for example. We had one person I will never forget this guy who said that he had built his entire business on Instagram because he was like, why have a website? I'm direct messaging these people. I'm getting, leads from them. I'm having consultation calls with them and I'm booking. Why bother having a website? Why pay for that, right? For whatever reason, somebody reported his Instagram account, and Instagram, for whatever reason, decided that this claim was valid, shut down his account, and he lost his entire business because that's where all of his leads were, his portfolio work, his messaging, all of like the things that he was doing to build this relationship and this trust. It was built on somebody else's land. And if they want to decide they want to shut it down, gone. And he tried appealing it. He couldn't get it back. He had to start completely over from scratch. We can't do that, guys. Not when we're professionals like this.
Yeah, I hear all the time, well, I had a website before and it didn't really bring me anybody. Well, maybe you didn't have it right. Maybe you didn't bring the right people in or say the right things. But here's what I hear all the time. For some people, it's on Wedding Wire or they're not. Your website may or may not be the first place they find you, but it is going to be the last place they check out to make sure you're legitimate. Their parents are probably going to check it out, etc. But in the grand scheme, let's just not have all our eggs in one basket.
Absolutely.
Let's own our things and stuff like that. So,
absolutely.
How fast do you see results? Good question. So you start right away, and within like a week, maybe 2, depending on how long you're taking, you start getting that messaging correct. Rhett put that messaging up on Wedding Wire, or the Knot, sorry, he's more on
the Knot,
and he started getting results. You do the messaging, all these things kind of start building up a pie chart. We work together for 90 days, but we want you to start booking people the first few weeks and so on, because we know that as soon as you do, all of a sudden you're going to be like on fire.
It's like momentum.
It's funny how that
so many of us just need momentum, right? Well, and another great example of that with what we teach inside, like we said, it's that foundation. It's getting that messaging right and getting it to all the right places. But we do also have specific tools. Like, for example, we have this cold lead revival email. Yeah. That when you first joined, we're like, send this out. Sorry. So sending it out. And you get that into some of your old leads. Again, like we were talking about, the ones that you thought were dead, you thought were cold, people have booked off of that. Like immediately. Because
they wanted you or whatnot. But
they just need to hear from you and with the right stuff.
Right way.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah, momentum will be awesome. I hear you.
Yeah, exactly.
So, this is good stuff. Yeah.
A great example, guys, to marry what you both just talked about was the Key West business that spent a ton of money on a website, and then they still came to us, and then within a week we have their testimony. Yeah. Because of what you guys did with their site.
Because they had someone who didn't know the wedding industry paid to build a beautiful website. Yeah,
it was beautiful.
But nobody was going down it. We found that out through heat tracking software, which is easy. But all this stuff is like super easy when we help you.
When you have the right tools and the right people to show you. Yeah, exactly. That's a really good point, Matt. Thank you for pointing that out. Yeah.
Sure.
All right. We're at that hour mark. If there's no other questions, I don't want to cut anybody off if you had it, but go ahead.
I've got spots open today. I'd love to connect with you, whether You have questions or not, either way, I'll help you figure out the Growth Academy is a good part. And if not, I'll definitely look at your business and give you some good advice on what to do next. So
love to hear from you. Love to show you exactly what's possible. And thanks, Steffi, for saying it. Was so happy to spend time with you guys too. And yeah, Erica talking with Nick tomorrow. Fantastic. Can't wait. So thanks you guys again for spending this time. I want you to know this is time well spent. Anytime you spend wanting to improve your wedding business is going to be well spent. And again, this shows where your heart is. Yes,
this
it shows.
Engagement season. It's time.
Exactly. It's time to move forward, and we want to see you guys get that momentum and to actually make those leaps that you want in your business. So excited to talk with you guys. Can't wait to help you with that. We will see you guys soon. Don't go away. Come hang out with us on Instagram and in our Facebook group here. We would love to stay connected with you guys and hopefully help you out through the Growth Academy. So we will see you guys soon. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you soon. Bye, everybody.